The island no one left. The small charter boat rocked gently against the pier as 5 strangers disembarked, each clutching their belongings and glancing around the secluded island with a mix of awe and unease. The invitation to the exclusive retreat had promised luxury, solitude, and the chance to rediscover oneself far from the chaos of the world. None of them could have foreseen how prophetic that promise would become. The island was a pristine paradise, dense jungle, golden beaches, and a sprawling mansion perched on a cliff overlooking the ocean. Their host, an enigmatic billionaire named Victor Trask, was absent but had left a note welcoming them and explaining that he would join them later in the week. The housekeeper, a stern woman named Evelyn, ushered them to their rooms and gave strict instructions not to wander into the jungle or the cliffside after dark. The guests gathered for dinner that evening in the grand dining room. They introduced themselves between courses of gourmet dishes. Maria, a best-selling crime novelist on a self-proclaimed research sabbatical. Lucas, a disgraced journalist hoping to make a comeback. Claire, a high-powered lawyer with a sharp tongue and sharper secrets. Jeremy, a tech entrepreneur who seemed glued to his smartwatch. Sylvia, a reserved botanist who appeared out of place among the high-profile guests. Despite the differences, an air of camaraderie began to form, but as the clock struck midnight, a piercing scream shattered the tranquility. The group rushed to the source. Jeremy's room, the door was locked from the inside. When they finally forced it open, they found him sprawled on the floor, his smartwatch cracked, and a pool of blood spreading beneath him. A jagged wound on his neck suggested foul play. Panic set in as they realized the island's only boat had already left, and there was no cell signal or internet. Someone among them had to be the killer. Maria, the novelist, took charge, urging everyone to stay calm and stick together. The next morning, they discovered another chilling detail. Jeremy's smartwatch had recorded an audio snippet before his death. The muffled recording included a single word: Trask. Victor Trask's absence loomed heavily over the group. Was he the mastermind behind this twisted game, or was he the next intended victim? As the hours passed, the group fractured under the weight of suspicion. Old grudges and hidden agendas surfaced. Lucas accused Claire of knowing more than she let on, pointing out her legal dealings with Trask's company. Sylvia's shy demeanor gave way to sharp intellect as she pieced together clues, but her knowledge of poisonous plants made her an easy scapegoat. Maria scribbled furiously in her notebook, her writer's instincts kicking in. That night, Lucas vanished. His body was found near the cliffs, his throat cut, and a single word carved into the sand beside him: guilty. Maria's determination grew as she began connecting dots others missed. She noticed peculiarities in Evelyn's behavior and subtle inconsistencies in the mansion's layout. The climax came when Maria confronted Evelyn in the mansion's wine cellar. Hidden behind a rack of vintage bottles was a door leading to a hidden room filled with surveillance equipment and dossiers on each guest. Evelyn confessed under duress that Victor Trask had orchestrated the retreat to punish those who had wronged him. Each guest had a tie to Trask's ruin: a lawsuit, an exposé, a betrayal. "But he's dead," Evelyn whispered, trembling. "Died before he could enact his revenge. Someone else took up his plan." A shadow moved behind Maria, and she turned just in time to dodge a blow from Claire, who wielded a heavy wine bottle. "He may be dead, But his plan lives, Claire hissed, her carefully constructed facade crumbling. Justice doesn't die. A struggle ensued, ending with Claire unconscious and tied up. The surviving guests, Maria and Sylvia, secured Claire and used the hidden equipment to send a distress signal. By the time rescue arrived, the sun was rising. Their once pristine paradise was stained with blood and betrayal. As the boat carried them away, Maria gazed back at the island, vowing to tell its story, not in fiction, but as a warning of how far vengeance could reach. It was, after all, the island no one left unscarred.